Good evening, everyone. Dr. Frances Stromsland, Interim Director of Pupil Services for North Brunswick Township. You've heard a lot tonight, a lot to observe, a lot to absorb, and the good news is that this is going to be available for you to continue to review and to get questions that you may still have when you leave here this evening answered. I am also going to encourage you, since I am the Pupil Services Director, to reach out to me, reach out to my leadership team if you have questions. The leadership team for special services on the elementary level, pre-K to 5, is Dr. Tanya Herzog. For the middle school is Jennifer Nicosia, and for the high school is Patricia Van Langen. So we are available for questions that you may have regarding special needs students and specific accommodations, or questions you may have generally about them. So our team has been trained and oriented to Parcc and something that's also called dynamic learning maps. DLM we're not talking about tonight, thank goodness, we'd be here all night. But the fact is that some students will not take Parcc who have special needs, but will have a special alternate assessment called the DLM. All students in 311 will participate, as you've heard all evening, whether they're in district or placed in out-district programs. The testing program begins on March 2nd for all in-district students. Schedules for test administration in district will be shared prior to implementation. You saw the first review of that schedule this evening. That was the schedule that's going to be promulgated. Child study team members, teachers, special ed leadership team are now all reviewing the testing accommodations that are in student IEPs. If any changes or revisions are necessary, an IEP amendment request will be sent home to you. Those of you that are involved with special education have probably seen this before, amendment requests that are fairly simple, straightforward, and we ask for your short review, acceptance, and prompt return so that we can proceed with any changes that might need to occur. If your student is in an out-of-district school, special program, they may or may not be offering the Parcc. So what happens then is other arrangements are made for students who are in those settings so that that's done on a case-by-case basis. We will communicate that directly with you so that you will know, it will not be a surprise. Students on home instruction will also be scheduled to participate in the program. They may be scheduled during the makeup time so that they are not, they're given more flexibility. Scheduling all of these students will be done on a case-by-case basis who are out of district, who are not in a school that's testing, or if a student happens to be on home instruction. So again, questions after you look at this and after you have a chance to absorb it and really review it, please feel free to contact me or any member of my leadership team. So I was the quickest one, wasn't I? Oh, question, I'm sorry. Does someone have a question? Yes, ma'am, sir. I'm sorry, you were first? I'm sorry, I couldn't get you.
We're going to address all the technology questions in an upcoming slide.
Special education, yes, pupil service question. Yeah, they'll get scratch paper to work with. Yes, they can have that to work to help solve problems or prepare essays, things of that nature. So there are certain features that the students will have access to, absolutely. Yes. If they're not a typist? Well, yeah. They're going to be speed typing. No. Wait, that's a joke. Scribe, that's right. Yes, exactly. It's exactly the same. Exactly. It'd be a person that's assisting the student, whether they need assistance with the typing. We call that a scribe. Okay, so that's a special accommodation. There are people that can be readers, people that can be scribes. So when you're a student with disability and it's a specific type of unique situation, that's communicated with directly with the parents, with the child study team. Yes, ma'am. I think I was talking to this lady here. Yes, go ahead. If it's necessary, correct. Yes, if a change or an additional accommodation may be required, you'll see it very shortly in an IEP amendment that will be coming home for your review. A phone call will come first, so they'll be aware. It won't disappear in the book bag or anything like that.
Yes. There was a great question here, and I don't want to leave it. It was about the typing scenario, and that's, I think, a very pertinent and relevant question. So, Mr. Marcus, can you just take that one?
Sure.
And answer it correctly.
Thank you. Hello again. Wanted to address that. We are going to talk about technology, the type of hardware, what the district has done, and what we've done for keyboarding instruction. But with Parcc, there is a unit time for each test the students will be taking. Unlike NJASC, if students need additional time, they will have an additional set of minutes that they could use to complete that test. So they are aware this is an online assessment, that certain students will need additional time to become more proficient with that hardware and with taking a test online. So they do provide additional time that students can take to complete those sections. Yes. And through field testing, students who are allotted permitted to use that time. The great majority of our students did complete time during the original testing session allotment. Again, we do have a few more slides coming up. I would prefer to hold off questions. I'm confident we're going to address all of this through our presentation, and then I'm happy to stay all night. Me personally, I'll let my team go eventually to answer questions. We won't leave anybody, no parent left behind.